Welcome back. Today is day 14 of the summer bulk. And as you guys can see, we're not actually in the car today to intro the vid. We're back in the kitchen. It is a rest day and I am going to be bringing you guys another full day of eating. So I got a really good response to the last full day of eating. I am aware that I did have some audio issues. A couple of you guys let me know in the comments. I've actually gone out and bought the new Rode Pros. So audio shouldn't be an issue anymore and quality should be a little bit better for you guys in this video. Now today is going to be a little bit more of a flexible day. I don't typically do this every day just because it takes so long to meal prep and you need lots more ingredients compared to last week's full day of eating. So I might do this once or twice a week if I have the time, but today is a rest day and I do have time on my hands. I've got a bunch of work later on. We did a bit of programming this morning. It's like already 11:20. So this is pretty late for meal number one, but I'm keen to show you guys, some ingredients and some recipes that you guys can start having. Keep in mind the macros for today are 300 protein, 350 carbs, and 50 fats. So it's probably not the exact same as yours, but remember you can just adjust the portion sizes for yourself. So for meal number one, like I said, we're having breakfast, and one of my favorites is like Anabolic French toast. So with this meal, I've calculated it to be 726 calories. The breakdown is 67 protein, 91 carbs, and 6 fats. So it's essentially carbs and protein to kickstart the day. Now, something that I do that not too many people do, instead of using bread, I actually like to use English muffins. Now, I use the wholemeal English muffins just because they are lower calorie and lower carbs compared to the standard original ones, which means you can have more. So that's a little hack for you guys. But yeah, we're gonna have 3. I've already pre-sliced these. Now, for the base, I've got the liquid egg whites. Now with this, the ratio that I use with a bit of trial and error is 50 grams of egg whites to 1 muffin. So pretty much, because I'm having 3, we're gonna measure out 150 mils. Or there, yeah, perfect, so bang on. And when I'm weighing stuff, I always try to get it to the gram. I guess it's just my OCD. I don't know about you guys, but we're gonna have that. And what I also like to do just to hit my protein is actually put a bit of protein powder in as well. You don't really taste it and it makes it a thicker consistency. So I've got the whey, salted caramel flavor. Tastes kind of like Biscoff. So we're gonna tear the scales. I'm gonna add in 16 grams of this. So it's just under like half a scoop of this. If you put in a full scoop, I find that it just gets too thick and it kind of ruins consistency, but this is like a good way to add a little bit more protein in to your first meal of the day. That is 16 grams. And then pretty much the only other thing that I add is I like to add just 1 equal. Actually, this is equal packet. So I just buy the sachets, they're already measured out. I don't really know how many grams they are, but it's like the perfect amount for a little bit of extra flavor. So add 1 of those. I get a little bit of table salt as well. So as you guys know, I salt all my meals. I don't really track it. So I just do like a dash of salt. For some reason, like with the caramel and the salt, it just brings out that flavor. And then I got ground cinnamon, and yeah, I love my cinnamon. So I'll add cinnamon into this, and then also I'll add cinnamon on top later as well. And then instead of having like a whisk, I use my fork. I nearly forgot, I also actually add, so I use the Steve's 0 calories per serving maple syrup. So it's essentially got nothing in it except for sodium. So that's again why I don't really like being flexible every single day, because the sodium for the low calorie stuff is really high and it can play up with your digestion, but like 1 day a week's not gonna hurt. And then again, I don't really track this. I just add like a splash of that, which helps with that consistency. So instead of having a whisk, I just use like a fork, and then pretty much all I do is like stir this up. So that'll like mix it in. And yeah, essentially you just want to like try to see if I can get a whisk going. As you guys can see there, I'll just show you what the texture looks like. It literally just looks like a bit of brown egg whites. Doesn't look too good, but I tell you what, once you actually prepare and cook the English muffins, it tastes amazing. So pretty much you're gonna give this a nice big stir. And then once you're done, I'm actually gonna set the camera up over the stove just to show you how I pretty much cook these bad boys. When we're cooking these, what you wanna do is try to get the biggest pan you guys have in your kitchen, just so you can try to fit on as many as you can. One thing I hate doing, and like how I used to make these, is get like the smallest pan. You literally can only cook like 1 or 2 at a time. Takes like 30 minutes, and by that stage, your food's cold. So because we're bulking, we don't really track this, but I've got the light olive oil spray just to make sure that they don't stick to the pan. I just do like a little spray there. Keep in mind, if you're cutting, I would recommend that you track that. And then essentially, this is like the fun part. You literally just like dip it, give it a flip, and you kind of want to like let it sit, make sure it soaks up all of the mixture. And then remember, because we're using English muffins, I do find that these get a lot more dense than using bread, and you can hold a little bit more like egg whites in them. So with this pan, it's pretty big. We should be able to fit like all 6 in here. Now, another thing as well, that is a little bit annoying, is usually you'll have like leftover egg whites. So that's why if you can kind of smash all these down on the pan, you just like evenly pour the rest of the mixture. Because keep in mind, we've tracked this shit. We want to make sure we're getting all the protein in and we're getting all our macros in. So you just want to pretty much quickly dip all 6 pieces, or how many you have. And then once you do that, you just want to pour the remaining mixture on top. All right, nearly there. We've got 4 down. Actually, we don't have too much left over. I think that ratio is perfect. So just gonna squish these on. And then last piece. Sweet. And yeah, you just wanna make sure you just wanna make sure that each piece is actually soaking up all of the mixture. Boom, 6 are down. As you can see, we've got a little bit of mixture left. And then all you wanna do is just like evenly spread this out on top. And 4, 5, and boom. Perfect. We've used all the mixture. Even though it's raw egg whites, it tastes pretty freaking good, in my opinion. And then yeah, what you wanna make sure you're doing as well, using like medium to high heat. I'm pretty impatient, so I actually put it more on the high side. And then yeah, essentially you just wanna see the liquid, I guess, in it harden up a bit. I try to do minimum flips. I try to literally flip it once. So I'll probably leave this for about 3 to 4 minutes, medium to high heat. So it's been a couple of minutes, so I'm just gonna give these a flip. Not too bad. This smells so good already. So yeah, these are looking on point. And then pretty much what we're gonna do is serve these up with some protein yogurt, a little bit more cinnamon, and some blueberries on top as well. So I'll run you guys through the amounts as soon as I flip all these mofos. Okay, these end ones look a bit dodgy, but they're gonna still taste good. Once you cover them all with like maple syrup, you can't even see them. All right, that took a while, but they're actually ready and they look pretty decent. So this is the finished product. I kind of like making them a little circle around the plate. So it's 6, I think 4 or 6 look pretty solid, 2 look a bit mangled, but that's all G. And then pretty much what we're gonna do now is add on, actually leave that there, 200 grams of caramel YoPro. So with this, really good macros. I would like to have ice cream, but this has protein in it and it tastes pretty decent. Another thing I learned as well with the YoPro, well, I need one of you guys to fact check, but I'm pretty sure when you kind of use this and you put it in the fridge and use it again, there's a little bit of water. I used to tip it out, but turns out that's actually protein or some type of secretion of protein. So yeah, I've kind of been mixing that in, but this is a brand new tub. Just thought I'd let you guys know. And then what we're gonna do is I just scoop this straight into the middle. I'm using a fork, which isn't the best, but gets the job done. So I'm gonna go 200, which sounds like a lot, but I think for the ratio, when you're having 6 pieces of English muffins, it's just the right amount. There's nothing worse than having like a dessert or something and you've got like the small scoop of ice cream. So you're gonna make sure that you factor that in and you have a good ratio of English muffins to yogurt. All right, caramel is done, YoPro. Now, the fun part, nearly there. This is a bit drawn out, and again, this is one of the main reasons why I only do this a couple times a day. We've got bloobs. I like to smash blueberries. So this is 200 grams. So pretty much what I do is just spread these out randomly on the plate till we get 200 on the scale. Now, I know it looks probably like really annoying that I'm weighing my food, but if that's like the small price you have to pay to be able to eat French toast and still like stay on track, then so be it. I think it's a small price to pay. And also, it doesn't get that bad, like you get used to it as well. Now, you don't have to be as, I guess, as pedantic as me trying to get it to the gram, but of course, the more accurate, the better. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So obviously, if you're gonna like let that slide a few grams, it adds up, that extra calorie adds up, and obviously not getting the results you want. So blueberries are on. Again, I get the ground cinnamon, give this a few taps. I like to lather it on. We've got the salt as well. I'll do an extra hit of salt on top. And then lastly, but the best part is just putting on the sugar-free maple. I don't go too much, but I drizzle enough so it's not too dry, and boom, there we go. So I'm gonna show you guys the finished product. Hopefully it doesn't slide off my plate. How does that bad boy look? Looks pretty good. Like I said, 762 calories, so pretty on point. Let's smash it. That kind of is a bit drawn out, and like I said, that's one of the main reasons why I try not to be flexible every single day, and also with the sweeteners. But I tell you what, as you can see, I look a little bit more excited than I did when I was eating my oats, when I'm eating my French toast. This shit slaps. So I'm gonna take the first bite. First bite is usually the best bite. Let's see how it tastes. Yeah, that hits the spot. Like, it's pretty crazy. I used to go to like Cafe 63 before and try to guesstimate French toast when I didn't know how to make it. It comes with like 2 slices, and I used to get like 3 serves of it. And it's like $10 or something a plate. So it's pretty crazy, like $30 of French toast out. And you can probably make this under like $5. I don't know the exact price. So it is pretty crazy. So don't be afraid, you know, maybe on your rest day or on your days off work to like actually sit down and make some tasty meals just to mix it up. When I have days like this, it actually doesn't even feel like I'm dieting. Because most people think, you know, for you to stay on track to build muscle, you do have to eat chicken rice. Now, that is a fair point. You do want to like stick to whole foods, but, you know, having 1 or 2 days a week where you're making shit like this that tastes good, that you look forward to, if that helps you stay on track and it helps you, you know, not fall off your plan, then I say just do it. So I'm gonna smash this down now. The time is, it's nearly 12 o'clock. So this is damn late. So I'm gonna crack this bad boy open. I do have a pretty big day ahead, like programming and work-wise. So I don't know how early it is, how early is too early to have a monster, but that goes down really nicely. Yeah, I'm back on the monster train. It's been months since I've had them. Then literally the last 4 days, I've had a monster every day. So I'm gonna have this during the day now so I can actually get a decent night's sleep. And as you guys know, a liter of water that I'm having, but as you guys know as well, I'm kind of avoiding water at the moment, and I'm just having that sugar-free Cottee's cordial. So this is still my first one. We nearly smashed it down, and yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this meal. Time is 1:40, which means it's time for meal number 2. It is a little bit late. I do have a bunch of client check-ins to get through this afternoon as well, so I'm pretty much gonna whip this up, smash it down, and then jump into those. So the breakdown of this meal is gonna be 1,096 calories, which is a big chunk of my calories, but it is really worth it. We're basically gonna be having Kangaroo burgers and fries, but we're gonna air fry the chips. So I'll show you how I put them together. The breakdown for calories is 97 protein, 117 carbs, and 23 fats. So I'll show you what we're doing. Pretty much for our chips, which is what I like to do at first, we're using Spud Light potatoes. So you can get lots of volume and then really low carbs, so 25% less carbs, and then pretty much that works out to like 2 big ass potatoes. What I'm gonna do here is just slice them into like pieces like that, and then essentially I'll move this out of the way so you guys can see. So I'm gonna slice these potatoes up real quick. And then a hack that I like to do that actually makes them nice and crispy versus throwing them straight in the air fryer is actually microwaving them in boiling water for about 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, 5 minutes. So what this does, it kind of makes your potatoes soft. When I used to have potatoes, I'd pretty much whack them straight in the air fryer and they'd still be hard even after like air frying them for 15 minutes. So if you guys like boil your potatoes first, they're gonna be nice and soft, and that's where I throw my seasoning on. And then with the seasoning for the chips, what I do is I try to replicate like the grilled chips. So I pretty much get Italian herbs, and then I get, the salt flakes, which you can buy, which are essentially like flakes of iodized table salt. It just makes it so much tastier, and I think that's like pretty much exactly how grilled season their chips. So we've nearly chopped these up. Cool, so I'll show you how much volume you get for 350 grams of potato, which is quite a bit. So that's what the potatoes look like. And then yeah, I'm gonna throw these in the microwave with boiling water, and then we're gonna do that for 5 minutes. Then we're gonna start preparing the Kangaroo burgers. For the Kangaroo burgers, I essentially get them like this. So they're pretty much already patties. These are great, like per patty you get 20 grams protein, 2 fat, and only 2 carbs. So this is a good alternative to having like beef. So if you haven't tried Kangaroo before, I get these. They're probably the best to start with. I wouldn't recommend getting like a steak as it is quite chewy, but this pretty much tastes like beef. Like once you season it, you honestly don't even know. So this is a 4-pack. I'm gonna have all 4 patties just because we're gonna do like double-decker burgers just for extra protein. Obviously, if you've got the calories for it, I would recommend. It makes it a lot more filling. And 4 of these weighs 440 grams, which is exactly what we've accounted for. I need a tea towel. And then basically what I do is get my paprika. So make sure you are seasoning all your meat as well. I don't track it, but when I am in prep, I do. It just adds a lot of flavor. So I go paprika, and then I get the garlic powder as well. So I'm not gonna salt the burger itself. I will salt the chips. So pretty much whack that on, and then I flip it over, and then I repeat the same process, but I don't put as much on. So same again, garlic powder and paprika. And another thing as well, I do find these quite thick. So they are hard to like cook all the way through. So generally what I do is get like your spatula, and then I kind of like turn it into like a bit of a smash patty. So I'll pretty much squish these down just so they cook faster, and I'll show you guys what they look like. And then essentially just whack them on high heat, and then hopefully by the time these cook and we throw the potatoes in the air fryer, we can put those burger buns in the toaster, and then everything should be nice and warm versus like trying to prepare your burger after your chips cook and then you have like cold chips. So this is basically what they look like. So they look exactly like beef burgers. So I'm gonna throw this on the grill now. Spoiled the potatoes and taken them out of the microwave after 5 minutes. So that's what they look like. Now what you wanna do is add your seasonings. Like I said, I'm using Italian herb seasoning. So pretty much you wanna be nice and generous with this. Whack this on the top. And you just wanna be able to cover your chips completely. And then I do like 2 to 3 pinches of like sea salt flakes. So I'll show you what it looks like. But pretty much you wanna season your chips, and then we're gonna whack them in the air fryer for 15 minutes on 200 degrees. And I find that's probably the best time, with a bit of trial and error, to get them nice and crispy. So you just wanna stir this up, make sure your seasoning's covering all the chips, and then we're gonna throw it in the air fryer. So that's what they look like. You tell me, but I'm pretty sure they look like grilled chips. And then we're gonna whack the air fryer open, throw them in, and then just turn this on for 15 minutes. And that should be time for us to also flip the Kangaroo burger. It sounds like they're burning, but we'll have a look. These look like they're ready to flip. Again, I try to like minimize it to 1 flip. Oh no, perfect, nice and crispy. Perfect. All right, so Kangaroo burgers are nearly done. So these are probably gonna be on here for another couple of minutes. And then pretty much when the air fryer gets to like 5 minutes left, we're gonna throw those burger buns in the toaster. 5 minutes left until the chips are done. So that's when you wanna grab your buns. Now we're using the brioche burger buns with sesame seeds. So this is the brioche gourmet. Macros in these are 6 protein, 5 fat, and only 31 carbs. So we're having 2. And then essentially what I do is just throw these in the toaster. And by the time they come out and we can actually add all our toppings on the burgers, the chips should be ready. So I'm gonna tear the scales. For the sauce on the burgers, I've got Peronaise. Nearly dropped it. Peronaise. So this stuff tastes amazing. And we're just gonna pop 30 grams across all 4 buns. I kind of like having a bit of sauce at the top and the bottom of the burger. Cool, so 30 grams on the dot. Next step is we're gonna have 20 grams of pickles. So I'm just using the Australian pickles. These are like cut, I guess like crinkle cut pickles. These ones taste the best. So we're just gonna smash on 25 grams of pickles. These are super low calorie as well. You don't really need to track them. Again, the only downside with having too much pickles is just the extra sodium. But since we're bulking, I don't really care. Pickles done. And then iceberg lettuce. So I just get the shredded iceberg lettuce. I don't really track this. This is some sad looking lettuce. It's a little red, but it'll do the job for today. And we're gonna add on just a handful on each burger. Sweet, looks good. And then what I do is just get 2 big pieces of red capsicum. This is 75 grams. And I pretty much just, now we're gonna grab, these are still warm but not hot. So we're gonna go 2 per burger. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. These burgers are pretty epic once you put them together. And then we're gonna add the tops of those. Chips are done. And then we're just gonna get all these and then add them to the plate. Yeah, this meal actually looks pretty epic. Like when you look at it, it kind of looks like a meal that you buy out. So it doesn't really look like it's macro friendly, but as you guys have seen, we have accounted for everything. It just takes ages. I think prep time so far has been about 20 to 25 minutes. So if you're having like your normal chicken and rice, you don't have to do as many steps, but these are worth it. So chips are done. I'll show you guys what they look like. So they are the chips. And that's what the burgers look like. Oh, the other thing is we need to add our barbecue sauce under the chips. So for the barbecue sauce, I'm using the smoky barbecue sauce from Heinz. This stuff only has like 4.6 carbs per 15 mils. So this is definitely on the lower carb side. And we've tracked in 23 grams. So I'm just gonna add that on top of my chips, 22, 23. Cool. That's actually 24, but that's all right. Pretty much the same thing. So 10 years later, and we've finally cooked lunch. Now, I am smashing down my second bottle of water. We're mixing up the flavor. This is the Fruit Crush Cottage Sugar-Free. And yeah, as you guys can see, this actually looks like a bit of a masterpiece. Pretty proud that I made this, but we're gonna try the chips. Like I said, they pretty much replicate the grilled chips, and they taste really good. So make sure that you do try out the steps of actually boiling it first and then putting it in the microwave and then air frying. It's gonna make like a big difference of the finished product. Tastes really good. Now let's try these burgers. Like I said, there's a lot of protein in these, but they taste damn good. So the time is 7 o'clock, and yeah, it's been a decent amount of time since my last meal. Majority of my calories I've had today are in the first 2 meals of the day, so I was pretty satiated, but this meal is pretty simple. It's just the OG cream of rice. So the calories for this one is 626 calories. If you guys want to have a look, I've got the blueberries paired with salted caramel whey and peanut butter. So with the breakdown, we're looking at 60 protein because you've got the 2 scoops of protein powder in there, 67 carbs, and then 12 fat. So again, high protein, high carb, low fat meal. This would be a really good pre or post workout meal, but obviously today's a rest day. I am gonna smash this down and then we're gonna actually get an hour of cardio in just because it's a rest day. Just finished up on some like client check-ins and programming this afternoon. So that's why I haven't smashed this down any earlier. But yeah, like it's definitely good changing up your flavors. Remember, if you like eating the same foods, but you want to like mix it up a little bit, remember you can just like change your flavors and like, I guess the condiments that you put in. So like, I guess flavors that I'll mix up with this for my fats is either like peanut butter, dark chocolate, or sometimes like Biscoff or Nutella. And then like, obviously you can play around with berries, banana, or just throw on like a different berry like raspberries just to mix it up. And then obviously you guys know the drill. We've got a liter of water, which I'm smashing down. I'll have the EAAs at the gym, which will wrap up my 4 liters for the day. So yeah, this tastes really good, really easy to get down. And your body can digest it really fast. So pretty much after this, we've just got one more meal, which looks like it's gonna be a bit of a later meal. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the different foods. Obviously at the start of the day, and then remember, when you guys are being a little bit more flexible, it's still really good to have, I guess, your typical simple meals in there as well, just to make sure you guys are hitting your protein targets and also, you know, your satiety as well. Because yeah, even though French toast is really good, I still find that like my oats is generally more satiating throughout the day and more filling. But you know, like I said, rather than eating boring stuff all the time, mix it up and make sure you keep it exciting so you stay on track. So the time is 9:35 and yeah, we just got back from doing cardio. We ended up doing 30 minutes. Now I was gonna chat to you guys as well about doing cardio on the bulk. Some people don't like doing cardio or just avoid it, but recently, well this bulk especially, I have actually been implementing cardio 3 times per week, 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, as well as 10K steps per day. Now, reason why I think you guys should add it in is A, it's gonna help you burn more calories throughout the day, which means you guys are gonna be able to eat more food. 2, it's gonna keep you leaner as well on the bulk, which means you're not gonna gain unnecessary body fat. So if you're not already, feel free to, you know, add that in. Doesn't really matter what type of cardio you do, whether you do the Stairmaster or the bike, as long as you're getting your heart rate up there. I try to stay between 120 to 130 beats per minute. And it just allows me as well when I transition back into prep to have that baseline cardio endurance. So I'm not like unfit, losing my breath when I'm walking up the stairs and whatnot. But anyway, we have our last meal of the day here, which is just your typical bodybuilder meal, chicken and rice, but we've added some extra sauces. So I've got 250 grams of rice, cooked weight, 310 grams of chicken breast. For all my meat, I weigh it raw, just because that's more accurate. I've also got 50 grams of capsicum, 50 grams of lettuce, and I've added on mustard and that no sugar sweet chili sauce. So I don't really track the sauces because they're really low cal. If I was in prep, I definitely would be weighing them and tracking them. But the breakdown for this is 76 protein, 74 carbs, and 9 fats. So that's what it looks like. Actually looks really good for like a chicken and rice meal. Also remember to make sure that you are seasoning your chicken. I used to never like season my chicken breast and it just tasted really bland. But what I do now is add my paprika and my onion salt, and it just, you know, makes it a little bit tastier. So we'll have a bite and see how it tastes. Actually tastes really good. Like, if you haven't tried the mustard sweet chili combo, you definitely should check it out. But yeah, I'm gonna smash this down. I've already had my 4 bottles of water. I've just got a Pepsi Max to wash it down. So I'm probably gonna wrap the video up there. It is really late. Still got some programs to do as well. And I'm gonna try to edit this video tonight to make sure I have it up tomorrow for you guys. So if you did enjoy it, please hit the like and the subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video, which is gonna be push day for day 15. I'll see you guys there.